Yeah, first of all, I apologize about my tardiness. Thanks to our great airlines, but now that I'm with you, excited about coaching game in Arkansas, one of the great home court environments in the country. It's a first for me. It's a first for the guys on our team, and we're excited about going in there and playing a very good Arkansas team and a team that at home plays as well as anyone in the country. So it's going to be a heck of a challenge, but one that's going to make us a better team, and then finish off the week with a home game against Georgia, obviously our neighboring school, and someone we played early in the year where we did not play well at all. And Mark has them playing extremely well, and it's another hard week in the SEC.
Our first question is from David Cloninger of the State newspaper.
How you doing this morning, Frank?
I'm extremely tired, Dave, but it's all good after a 2-0 week.
You said throughout the year that the guys maintained a very good attitude despite, losing a few games. It was always positive. Now that you guys are on a 2-game winning streak here, how is the mood in the locker room after the Bama game and, leading up into this week?
Well, like when we lost, we were happy. I figured I'd make everyone miserable after winning, so we changed. We turned the tables there. No, we everyone's in good spirits, Dave. I don't coach based on our record. I coach based on who we are, and our team is, with so many young kids. That's been the one exciting thing for me, is that they've continued to come in every day and want to work and want to compete. And now that we've won a couple games, the mood won't change. It's still going to be positive. It's still going to be excited. Hopefully, it just continues to reinforce in them the things that we're doing and we're preaching and what they're buying into. That is, the better we do that, the better we'll get as a team.
Thanks.
Next up is Ron Aiken of Gamecocks Central.
Hey, Coach, just wanted to say congratulations to Sim Thornwell for Freshman of the Week and wanted to get your take on his week's performance.
Extremely proud of him, because not only is he performing, but he's taking on the leadership role on our team. He's the guy that everyone pencils in when they prepare a scouting report against us. He's also taking on defensive responsibilities against the better players on the other team. Against Alabama the other day, he had to take on Relaford to stop him there at the end of the game, and against Vanderbilt he had Odom, and his growth as a player has been extremely fun to be around, and I know we're excited for who he is and who he's becoming.
Thank you, Coach.
Yep.
Next up is Bob Holt of the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette.
Hey, Coach, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself?
I'm okay. Hey, just what's this rebuilding process been like for you? Has it been harder than you thought? And what's it like having, I think you have 8 newcomers this year?
The 8 newcomers make you age in dog years. It's difficult at times, but you know what? I keep my focus on the fact that we're trying to educate young people and make them grow, and as long as I see them responding and getting better, that keeps my focus where it belongs, which is on the kids. And the rebuilding project, I mean, it's when you first get somewhere, you really don't know some of the issues you got to manage and handle and deal with. And a year and a half in, I've got to complete almost 2 years now, I should say. I've got a much better understanding, and it's been challenging at times. But I see so many positives with our fans, our administration, our school, and recruiting that I get more excited every day about what this program can become. And we need some breaks to go our ways in recruiting and in games and with players growing and balls going in the baskets, and we all understand that. But we're extremely excited about what we can become as we move forward here.
And do you feel like you guys have been improving, gradually, even with the losses? And then how big is it to get a couple wins to have tangible results for the kids that what you're doing is going to pay off?
Yeah, I mean, I've never coached according to our record. Now, we can be 36-0, and I'm going to coach according to the mood of our team. And it's just the way we do things. I rarely speak to our players about records. I rarely speak to our players about the previous game, whether we won or lost. I speak to them about things that we're doing right, things that we're doing wrong, things we need to get better at. And I try to keep my focus on the present day and the next challenge. And that's kind of the way I do business. And for a team as young as we were, our leadership had not been good. And here we've grown as a team because of Darius and Dwayne Notice. Those two guys have really taken ownership and tried to set a table for how we want to play. And that's fun when you see young kids that embrace jobs and roles and responsibilities and they accept it and they move forward with it.
I guess one more quick one because there probably aren't any other guys. You guys, I think, have one on the road this year yet. I know that's tough for a young team, especially. How tough has it been, and how tough is it to try to get that first road win in a place like Arkansas?
I mean, you can go into Arkansas with the Lakers, and you better have a great night to try and figure out a way to win. It's one of the great home court environments, and like I said earlier, I'm excited to experience it for the first time in my life. Mike, I have much respect for Mike and the way his teams play. We've competed against each other forever, and it seems that way. It's going to be extremely hard for our guys, but you have to be excited about those challenges. If you're not excited about the opportunity, about the possibility of going in there and doing everything you can to figure out a way to win, if you're not excited about that, then you're never going to be any good as a competitor. So is it a hard challenge? Absolutely. But we're excited about it, and we're going to go out there and do everything we can to figure out a way to score one more point in Arkansas.
Thanks.
Yes, sir.
Next up is Richard Kroom of the Bryan College Station Eagle.
Hey, Coach. Trying to get a little bit of what you just talked about, but I've had a lot of coaches talk about how your team's bought into what you're trying to do. How do you get a team to do that? I mean, and how long do you almost like give yourself for them to do that?
Every kid's different. I mean, not every kid learns at the same rate or learns the same way, and it takes time as coaches. You know, that's the challenge with so many young guys on our team is that I'm getting to know them too. I'm understanding them as people and players, and I don't care what kind of job you do in recruiting. You don't understand everything about the dynamics of a person's personality until you start going through things with them, and that's what the season does. It makes you see young people and what they're really about and how you can really help them, and that's what we're learning. And as the season's gone on, I've never been one to focus in on the previous game as far as a win or loss. I focus in on what we did right, what we did wrong, and let's learn and let's move on. Let's get better today and not worry about yesterday, and whether it's a positive or a negative the day before. And it's kind of the way I do things. I'm excited about our kids. I mean, our will, our fight, our willingness to compete and grow has never been an issue. And I'm proud of the fact that, we had a good week. But, this crazy sport that we play, you wake up one day and you feel real good, and then you play another SEC opponent, and you go home and you think you'll never win another game again. So it's something that you have to fight that emotion every single day.
Do you feel like your kids have bought into it, to what you want to do?
I've got no doubt that we're a much better basketball team than we were a month ago, let alone in November. And when you consider the fact that we lost our 2 point guards, there's absolutely no doubt that we're better. And you don't get better unless kids buy into to sharing the same theme, the same heartbeat, the same vision that the coaches are trying to put in place.
Thank you very much, Coach.
Yes, sir.
Our next question is from Jerry Tipton of the Lexington Herald-Leader.
Frank, earlier in the teleconference, Kevin Stallings talked about Darius, and he said that he thought Darius likes contact, plays to contact to a degree. What do you think of that, and how rare is that?
I love it. I totally agree with Kevin, and that's why Darius and I, that's why he's taking the leadership role of our team, because he and I, we've connected, and he believes in what I believe in, and I believe in what he believes in, and that's why he's having the success he's having as a player. I think. I was just talking about this yesterday with somebody. 20 years ago, every kid played football, basketball, baseball, whatever, growing up. So contact was not something that when they played basketball, they never faded away from contact, or they weren't fazed by it. Not enough kids play football anymore when they're young. So when they deal with basketball, and contrary to popular belief, basketball is a contact sport. And there's a lot of physical play in it. And if you don't, if you're not exposed to contact, you're not going to be comfortable when you have to deal with it. And that's where Sin's been so good.
And Billy, as a follow, Billy Kennedy said that he thought you guys were shaping up as a, quote, Big 12 team. What I don't know exactly what that means, but I'm hoping you'll tell me.
Well, it's, Jerry, he and I were both in the Big 12. And the one thing I can tell you about that league is that it was extremely athletic and extremely physical. I think our league's like that too. I just don't think the SEC gets credit for the physicality and the athleticism in the league. And you play Florida and you're not physical, you got no chance. You play Kentucky, you're not physical, you got no chance. You play Alabama, Tennessee, and you're not physical, you got no chance. I just think that our program, and I don't want to speak for Billy, is we're starting to get kids to play with the same physicality that our teams played with at K-State.
Thanks.
Our last question is from Dave Matter of the St. Louis Post-Dispatch.
Frank, when you prepared for Vanderbilt last week, what impressed you about the job Kevin has done with that team that has some obvious roster limits and challenges?
I've said this before. Kevin Stallings is as good a basketball coach as there is in the country. I mean, if the run he's had at Vanderbilt, if he does that at any of the so-called elite schools around the country, they'd have him on a pedestal somewhere right now. He's phenomenal. His ability to get kids to play together on both ends of the floor, it's incredible. For him to have managed, I don't want to say crisis, that's not a good word there, but just the things that you as a coach, we can control the things that happen on the floor. We worry about the stuff that happens off the floor. And for him to have managed all that other stuff, and to keep the focus on all the positive stuff with those kids, they're fun to watch. They're hard to play against because they're so well prepared, and their scheme is so good. They're good. Fuller, Odom, that big freshman they got is a load. It's just going to be real good. And Parker, and it's a credit to Kevin and those kids and the staff that they're as good as they are.